Tennessee did anything and everything they wanted yesterday. 14-0 before the end of the first quarter. Chiefs defense, still a problem. Chiefs turnovers, still a problem. 2 more for Mahomes yesterday as he was picked off for the 6th straight game, his longest INT streak ever. He also got hurt at the end of this one. We'll have more on that in a second. The Titans ran away with this one 27-3. How about the Chiefs putting up only 3 points yesterday? After the game, Patrick Mahomes on where the now 3-4 Chiefs go from here.
It's been kind of rainbows and flowers and awesome for these last few years, but whenever you want to build something substantial and you want to build something great, you're going to go through parts like this. And I mean, it's still, people keep saying it's still early in the year. I mean, we can still go get whatever we want, but it's going to take us getting better every single day. Because if you get better every single day and play each game play by play, I think we have the talent in this locker room that we can make it happen.
All right, so as I mentioned, Mahomes did get knocked out of the game on a nasty hit to the head in the 4th quarter. He didn't return, but he did clear concussion protocol. Look at that, his neck just basically snapped back. Again, did clear concussion protocol, which is great. We got our guy Mike Vick with us here to break this game down. Mike, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. Let me just ask this. Should the Chiefs be in full-blown panic mode at this point?
I won't say full-blown panic mode, but I will say they should be concerned. When I watched that game yesterday, I seen a lot of things that happened that was just self-inflicted. More so on the offensive side of the ball. I felt like the defense was put in bad situations because of the turnovers, and you can't ask a defense to always recover when you're giving up short fields. And in looking at the game, Patrick Mahomes, he was under duress the entire game, and watching from game 1 of this season up until yesterday, you know, Patrick hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football, at least 2 seconds, I would say. Extending back to the Super Bowl, he just hasn't had time. I don't know if it's because they got the offensive line shuffle going on. They got guys in and out of the lineup, but he's just not able to get comfortable. And another thing, I think not having Sammy Watkins to take the top off the coverage, to take the pressure off Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, has really been a detriment for this team. It's hard to replace guys like Sammy Watkins, and then when he leaves, you really see how his value, you know, really was an extension of the offense. And, you know, now that they're trying to find somebody to replace that, they not get protection, they can't find guys can't get open, they can't run the football, and they turning the ball over. And for that reason alone, you can hit the panic switch.
Listen, I'm not going to defend how Mahomes played yesterday. His 2 turnovers were indefensible. The pass is on 1st down. It's all turnovers are not created equal. If it's 3rd and long, I don't mind you trying to force a pass that might get picked because you're punting anyway. But that's 1st down. You don't have to make this play. And I understand it gets batted, but he throws it into coverage. The fumble, you saw the fumble coming from 3 seconds before it happened. Right. The way he was running, you're like, get down, get down. Why don't you get down? Please get down. Now, I wasn't so worried about a fumble. I was worried about an injury, but something bad was going to happen there. He didn't have to do either one of those things. But I do believe, Mike, Mahomes will be better than this. I still believe Mahomes is the most talented quarterback in football. My question for you is this. What are the Chiefs doing during the week? Why do they look surprised at what the opposition's doing? Everyone's doing the same thing. They're trying to get home with 4. They're dropping 2 high safety. They're making you take small intermediate gains. That's how teams are defending them. On offense, they are eating you alive with play-action passes in the short and intermediate field, the part of the field the Chiefs won't take advantage of, and they know their quarterback's going to have plenty of time because the Chiefs have no pass rush at all. So I don't know why they're not blitzing more. The reason you don't blitz is you don't want to give up the big play, but the defense is giving up plays anyway. And I don't know why the offense seems surprised by what the opposition's doing. So how much of this is I guess my question is this. What are they doing during the week? Because yesterday it looked like they had no idea what the Titans were going to try to do, and I felt like I knew what the Titans were going to try to do.
Yeah, I mean, when you have so much success over the years and you can go back and draw from any play, any game plan that you had success with. You can lean on that. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs, they tend to do that. They know they've been successful in the past. They have a lot of good players still on the offensive side of the ball. Can't say the same about the defensive side. And they still got Andy Reid. So you come into the game every week with optimism, knowing that you have a chance to beat your opponent. But what happens when your opponent comes to play and comes out and smack you in the mouth? That's when you got to respond. So right now, the Chiefs are getting everybody's best. And that's the way it's going to be. It's not going to change. Everybody wants to beat the Chiefs. They know they're the team to beat. They know if we get past them, then we have a great opportunity to make it to the postseason. Or if we see them in the postseason, we play with a lot of confidence. So Kansas City Chiefs got their hands, they got their work cut out for them. It's not going to be an easy stretch over the next couple games. I think they got the Giants, the Packers, and the Raiders. It's only going to get tougher.
And then they got the Cowboys after that, I believe. Mike, I thought yesterday, for the first time in his pro career, I felt like Patrick Mahomes started second-guessing himself. And I thought it changed right in the game, maybe at halftime, because the fumble we showed that Nick was talking about, it was like you could hear him thinking, should I get down, should I slide, or should I go for these extra yards and try to make a big play? So I think that was him trying to overcompensate for the deficit that their defense helps put them in, and he was trying to do too much, and he fumbles, like has happened this season a lot of times, whether it's a fumble or an interception with him. And then I thought in the second half, it looked to me like he was battling between, should I play off my instincts and do what I've always done, make these wild throws, throw across my body, do what I want to do, or should I be overly cautious? And you listen to him after the game. There's no 14-point plays. There's, we got to take one play at a time, not try to do too much. He's become Pat Mahomes by trying to do too much. That's who he is, by making 14-point plays, if you will. So I think he was struggling in his mind for the first time. Do you think that's a fair assessment? And have you ever gone through something like that, kind of second-guessing how you should play?
Oh, no, Chris, that's very fair. I think you and Nick hit it on the head. Midway, at some point in the game, you could tell and you could see that Patrick had lost a little bit of confidence, and that's normal. When you get knocked around, getting hit, things aren't going your way, you can start to second-guess yourself a little bit in game. And then with the fumble, like Nick said, you can see it coming a mile away. You just knew something bad was going to happen. And I was just hoping it wasn't going to be an injury. It almost looked like the same ideal situation Dak was in last year when he broke his foot. Right. And I'm glad that it was just a fumble and it was not an injury. And I found myself in games, particularly in 2012 with Andy Reid. We got blew out by the New Orleans Saints on Monday night. And it was a game where I felt like coming into the game, we had a chance to turn our season around. We was like 3-4, 3-5. And it just didn't go right. It was one of them games we got punched in the mouth. We couldn't do things right. The offense flooded. Defense didn't have a chance versus Drew. And we started to second guess ourselves. And that started a whole different realm of just us losing, man. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't easy. And you got to find ways to work out of that. It's not going to come easy until you're going to get teams' best.
So, Mike, before the season started, you remember this narrative, like, has the league figured Lamar out? Like, we figured out Lamar Jackson. Actually, the other way. Lamar figured the league out. And no one saw this coming. Has the league figured Patrick Mahomes out? Which is, don't blitz him. The Bills didn't blitz Mahomes and still got to him. Last night, the Titans blitzed him once in 39 dropbacks. They had 4 sacks, 9 QB hits. How do you think not blitzing Mahomes is kind of disrupting his rhythm and giving him different looks rather than the old idea of like, hey, pressure Mahomes and try to like make him pay? At the same time, I'll just throw a caveat out there. The Eagles also didn't blitz him and he cooked him up. So how do you think blitzing sort of affects it, or the lack thereof affects Mahomes?
Everybody's defensive scheme is different. And some can get there with 4, some can get there with 5. Some got to bring 6 and bring an extra guy that you might not see. So it's all about what they're seeing on film. And the tendencies don't lie, and you can't change but so much from week to week. So if there is a weakness, teams are exploiting it, they're seeing it, and like I say, they're going to continue to do it until you stop it or you combat it.
It's going to be a long week in Kansas City now as they get ready to head into Week 8. We shift back to basketball now. James Harden's early season struggles continued yesterday. Maybe the NBA's rule change has something to do with that? Is Harden the poster boy for said changes?